Hey, okay, so I had to quickly end that last video because all of the answers were on the screen. But anyways, okay, so I want you to copy down C and D, and I want you to try it. So you're going to try and find the highest common factor here, and then take it out and see what can cancel, and then same thing here. So this whole thing, see what you can take out as a highest common factor. Okay, Ms. Delafield, can you please pause the video? Thank you. Alright, so in the first one here, I can see there's a's in both terms, which I can divide through by, and b's in both terms, which I can divide through by. Okay, so if I take that out as a highest common factor, ab divided by ab is 1, and then abc divided by ab, the a's and b's will cancel, and I'm just left with the c. Then I can cancel, ab cancels with ab, and then I'm just left with my answer, which is 1 plus c. Let's do D. Alright, D, the number that goes into 2 and 4 is 2. The most amount of x's I can take out is x to the power of 2, and the most amount of y's that I can take out is y to the power of 1. Okay, so that's what I'm dividing through by. Okay, so I'm going to write that out as a highest common factor in front of my bracket. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, x squared divided by x squared is 1, y divided by y is 1. Okay, so that's where I got that 1. Minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. X cubed divided by x squared is x to the power of 1 because you subtract the exponents, and then y squared divided by y, subtract the exponents, and I'm just left with y. Then my 2's will cancel and my y's will cancel. Then I'm left with x squared on top and x to the power of 3 at the bottom, so 2 of these x's will cancel with 2 of these, and I'm left with 1 x at the bottom. So basically I'm left with this bracket over x. Okay, don't try and cancel those x's because this is like it's still in brackets, right? There's 2 terms here, so I can't just start canceling. And that's my final answer. Okay. Alright, if you need to copy this down, then you can. Let's go on to E. So maybe pause the video for those who are still copying. And for any questions, just remember, guys, that you can ask questions, and then Ms. Delafield will help you. Okay, let's go on to E. So copy it down, and then we'll start. Okay, please pause the video, Ms. Delafield. Thank you. All right. Okay, so let's look at each numerator and denominator separately. So I've got x and x plus 1. Okay, so x can't be factorized, right? And x plus 1, there's nothing you can divide through by. There's not dots happening here. It's not a trinomial. Okay, so that one, nothing changes. Then I'm dividing by a fraction. Okay, what happens when I divide by a fraction? What do you need to do? Does anyone know? Okay, you need to tip in times. Okay, so I'm going to change that to a multiplication, and I'm going to tip that fraction. Okay, so this part goes at the top, that part goes at the bottom. Alright, then look what I've done. I've just put this in brackets to show that I can't just go and cancel these x's together because there's 2 terms here. So if I want to try and cancel this out, I need to find another bracket that says x plus 1. I can only cancel that bracket with another bracket that's exactly the same. And then this one also, hey? So I can't just go and say x squared cancels with x squared. I have to find another bracket that looks like this. Okay. So all I've done is I've tipped in times so far. I haven't factorized anything. Okay, we've already said that this fraction can't be factorized. Okay, let's have a look at this one here. Okay, so the first thing I always go to is highest common factor. Is there a highest common factor? So in this case here, I've got x's in both terms, so I can take out x as the highest common factor. So I'm going to divide through by x. So there's my highest common factor there. X squared divided by x is x, and then x divided by x is just 1, right? Anything divided by itself is 1. Okay, now you can start to see what you can cancel. Okay, so I'm going to cancel those 2. So I've got x and x here. So I've got basically x squared cancels with x squared at the bottom. And then I've got 2 brackets that are the same, which can cancel each other out. X plus 1 cancels with x plus 1. And then what am I left with? Okay, I'm left with this 2 at the bottom. And then over here, it looks like I'm left with nothing, but I'm not, right? X goes into itself once. X goes into itself once. So I'm left with 1 over 2. And that's all. Okay. All right, so finish copying that down, and then we'll move on to F. Okay, so these are actually in your notes, but in your notes, G says x cubed plus x squared. I want you to change it, please, to x cubed plus 4x squared. Otherwise, this one, like, nothing cancels. Okay. Alright, I want you to try these by yourself. This here, be careful, hey, that those x's can't cancel, and the 3 and the 9 can't cancel because I've got 2 terms here, and I've got 2 terms here, so it's almost like they're in brackets. Okay, so you need to do something here. There's not highest common factor. You need to work out what's going on here. It's a different type of factorization that you know. And then over here, take out your highest common factors and then see what cancels. Okay, so you can pause the video and then when everyone's done, we can just mark it. Okay, so what I'm looking at here is dots, right? So I've got a perfect square there, and 9 is also a perfect square, and there's a subtraction sign. So I'm going to square root the x squared to be x, and I'm going to square root the 9. So square root of 9 is 3. And remember, I always have a positive bracket and a negative bracket. Okay, so there's my x, there's my square root of 9, which is 3. Then I can see the x3 cancels with the x minus 3, and I'm just left with x plus 3. Okay, let's mark G. Alright, G, I'm going to start by taking out highest common factor. So I've put them both in brackets to show that I can't try and cancel anything, right? I need to find another bracket that's exactly the same. Okay, so something that goes into 2 and 32, that's 2. And then a factor that can, so I've got x's in both terms. So I'm going to take out x to the power of 1. I always take out the smaller variable. Alright, if I divide by 2x, so I'm going to divide this part by 2x, and I'm going to get 1x squared. Then the 32, if I divide 32 by 2, I get 16. And then remember, I've also divided through by x. If you want to show what you've divided by, sometimes it's easier. Okay, so x divided by x, that will just be 1. Okay, so I'm left with this. Then the bottom, I can't take out a number, but I can take out x squared. So if I divide through by x squared and take it out as the highest common factor, x cubed divided by x squared, I'm just left with x to the power of 1. And then 4x squared divided by x squared, the x squareds will cancel and I'm just left with 4. Okay. Alright, now you can see if you can cancel anything out. Okay, so I can cancel one of these x's, so I'm just left with 2 over x. Then I can't seem to cancel these brackets. Okay, so check then if maybe you can factorize more. Alright, so let's have a look at this bottom bracket. This bottom bracket, I can't factorize more. There's no subtraction sign, so it's definitely not dots, and there's no highest common factor, and it's not a trinomial. Okay, let's check this top bracket. Okay, top bracket, I don't have a highest common factor. Is it dots? Well, let's check. Is this a perfect square? Yes. Is 16 a perfect square? Yes, it is. 4 times 4. And I've got a subtraction sign, so it is dots. Alright, so I'm going to bring my fraction down and I'm going to factorize this. So 1 positive bracket, 1 negative bracket, and the square root of x squared is x, the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, remember one of these x's cancelled with the x squared, so that's why I've just got 1x left at the bottom. Alright, then I can cancel, so the x plus 4 can cancel with the x plus 4. And that's pretty much everything that can cancel. Remember, don't try and cancel those x's. The one is in a bracket and the other one is not. So this, you would have to find an x minus 4 to cancel with the x minus 4. Alright, so your final answer will be 2x minus 4 over x. And then you just leave it like that. You don't go and distribute. Okay, because you're factorizing. Alright, let's move on. So just take down these corrections and maybe ask questions. Don't forget to ask questions if you need help. Okay, let's go on to H. Okay, H I'm going to put up here. I want you to try H by yourself before we mark it. Okay, but I'll give you some hints. Okay, so first you check highest common factor, then you check dots, then you check trinomial. You're dividing by a fraction, so make sure that you tip in times, and then also factorize these. Okay. And then you can start cancelling after you factorized. So you can just pause the video, please, Ms. Delafield. Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to look at this top and I'm going to say, can I take out a highest common factor? No. Is it dots? Yes, it is. Okay, so I open up my two brackets. The one is positive, the one is negative. Square root the first term, x squared is x. Square root the second term, square root of 16 is 4. Okay. Okay, so I'm already saying that I've got some stuff that can cancel here, hey? The x minus 4s. Alright, then all I'm going to do is I'm going to say times, and I'm going to tip that fraction. Okay, so I haven't factorized that yet. Alright, so let's see if we can factorize this. The bottom can't be factorized because this isn't an x squared, otherwise it could have been dots, but it's not. Then this one here, I've got a perfect square minus another perfect square, so I've got dots again. So open up your two brackets. One is positive, one is negative. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so the only thing I've changed in this step is this numerator here. I've factorized it. Okay, then let's see what can cancel. So I'm going to cancel out the x minus 4s. And then doesn't look like anything else can cancel, right? The x plus 4 and the x minus 4 can't cancel because they're different. And then the x plus 2 and the x minus 2 are next to each other. Okay, so what do? I just basically write everything on top as one numerator and everything at the bottom as one denominator. So you're going to get this. So x plus 4, x plus 2, x minus 2, all over x minus 4. And that's your final answer. Cool, that's all for today, and there is no homework today.